Did you see about this MSU
I did.
Black Friday game?
Yeah, against Penn State at Ford
Yeah.
Field. It's very interesting.
Is it?
Yeah,
I find it to be insulting.
really.
It's like, first of all, okay. So the Lions obviously play on Thanksgiving because they do every
Correct.
year.
Yes.
So what we're dealing with now is we're gonna enter Thanksgiving, obviously with Lions paint and everything, like graphics and all that jazz.
Uh-huh.
And then you're telling me Lions game is at noon. Okay.
Correct.
Goes for about 3 hours, 3 o'clock. Then you gotta wait for everybody to leave, all this jazz. And you're telling me then like it's Thanksgiving. You're gonna have people like
Yeah.
just fixing up the field from 3 o'clock in the afternoon Thursday to what is it, 7 or 8 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening
In the evening.
Friday, and you're gonna paint it all with Sparty green, like, or are you just not gonna
Yeah.
do that? Because if you don't do that,
Yeah.
this will be the laughing stock of the league that year or that game. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have MSU and Penn State playing on Honolulu blue, Rory in the center of the
Uh-huh.
field,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have Detroit Lions all over, and like it's like this is just like, why are we just taking the shaft on this? Like, why are
Yeah.
we just like allowing
Yeah.
the Big Ten to be like, you guys don't
That's
you don't need a home game for the last
nah.
game of the year, because like
That's the
it
other
really
thing.
is lose
Yeah.
for us, because like if we're bad, then you're just gonna have a bad and embarrassing game. It's
Yeah.
gonna look like a high school game.
Yeah.
Like because of just the environment, not necessarily because of the play. Although, you know,
If Penn State turns out to be pretty good this year, then
yeah,
who
right. If
bet?
Penn State turns out to be good, and then they're just going to blow us out, and it's going to be embarrassing. We moved this whole game, and
Yeah.
all that stupid stuff.
Yep.
And then if we're good, and the game actually means something, well, then we just lost a home game,
I know.
right?
That's what
Like,
I was most disappointed about
and
is like I get to spend one less well, in this case it'd be Friday, but you know what I mean, like
yeah,
one less we'll say Saturday for all intensive purposes in Spartan Stadium, which
yeah,
I will be doing next year.
yeah.
It's like
And I just like, I don't get why there are some. I've seen some people, not a lot of people, but some people are trying to like, well, uh, this is it's great because like then you got all the people who are home for the holidays that they can go to the. It's like,
no.
no, that's not what's gonna happen.
No.
Like, most people don't go, like, if you didn't want to go to the game back in Spartan Stadium, you're probably
Then you're
not
not
going
going
to
down to
suddenly
Ford
want to
Field.
go at Ford Field. Like, even if it is closer, like Ford Field was closer to me back when I lived at home in Metro Detroit than it is now, obviously. But
Correct.
like, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, if Michigan State was
Yeah.
playing on Black Friday when I was still in school, I would just watch on TV
Yeah.
either way. Like,
Yep.
and that's what a lot of people are going to do. Whereas, like, if you put it on campus, it's like, okay, some people, oh, well, nobody goes to that game anyway. It's like, I don't,
No, they do.
like, people go, first of
Yeah.
all. Yes.
Yep.
And then also, if we're good, people absolutely would go, because
Yeah.
people went a couple of years ago when it was Penn State,
And it was
and it was
snowing.
like, yeah, it was like a winter storm. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, and it was a meaningful game, right? It was like,
Yeah.
it was to get us to 10 wins on the
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Like, I don't see how this benefits Michigan State at all. And I was told
This is what I see.
it's just money.
Yeah.
Is money just ruining college football?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, that's really what I see it as, because you bring up the point. This was my first thought when I saw that of we don't get another home game. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, the outlook currently is still what if for MSU, but Penn State,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is going to be a good team. I
They
know
usually are.
you have differing opinions. I think it's going to
They're
be
usually a good team.
yeah.
I'd say that.
I don't think they're going to top Ohio State or Michigan, but
No.
they're going to be in the running,
Yeah.
which in turn means that they will probably be, if I'm assuming how our season goes, they will be better than us.
Right.
But it doesn't really matter. I will go watch Michigan State football, even
Yeah.
if we're bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's just at home, like, it's an atmosphere it's in a college stadium,
Yeah.
you know,
And it's like you're
versus
getting
Ford
into a
Field.
pro stadium, which, like, you're not gonna fill it for one, because you
No.
probably like, I mean, again, unless they're really good. But then if you fill it, it's like
Yeah.
you're probably not getting students, right? It's
Yeah,
like
you're probably getting a bunch of
you're getting a bunch
alumni
of
or somebody.
alumni,
Yeah.
or like, and it's like, why are we
What's the
doing
point of
this?
that?
I
Because
just
yeah,
don't.
college is,
And
I
it's
don't know.
like part of the charm. Like, if this was like week one,
Yeah.
right? Central Michigan, Friday night, let's do it in Ford Field, where they can prepare it, right? They can make Ford Field like look like Michigan State themed. I don't know. They could
Yeah, or
probably do
even
it.
or both of
Or yeah,
Michigan
or like a
State and
Michigan
Central
State,
Michigan.
Central Michigan. You can paint both of the end zones. It's fun
Yeah.
little neutral site game. You
Yeah.
get Central Michigan on one side, you got Michigan State fans on the other. You could probably fill the stadium on a week one game that is just basically an exhibition match, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, it's
But
like,
even then,
well, Penn State is probably, I mean, technically, I think it's closer, right? Like, Happy Valley to Detroit is closer than Happy Valley to East Lansing. But like, again,
yeah.
it's like, no, like, I don't see this being like a needle pusher for somebody who wouldn't otherwise go. If
I don't
anything, I see
know.
it as people not going, right? Because if you're like a student at Penn State or whatever, or
Yeah.
you're like a Penn State alumni, you go to every single Penn State game, no matter where they are.
Yeah.
Like, I, in that case, you're just going to go anyway. But
Yeah.
if you're a student, it's like, well, I would like to go to the college so that I could see the college, because that's, it's, you get to tailgate, and
Yeah.
obviously it's going to be late November and it's going to be freezing because the state is horrid.
Awful. Yeah.
Yes. But it's like, I don't know. I get it's the money, but like
Yeah.
at a certain point, do they not just feel like embarrassment? Like, do they
Yeah,
not
because
feel like, hey, we kind of look like total losers this way? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's like that's college football to me. It
yeah,
should be more about the experience that you get because you're bringing up like tailgating. Obviously, late November,
mhm,
it's probably going to be snowing again,
yeah,
right around Thanksgiving time.
snowing or
But
raining or just generally speaking
or
miserable.
just
And maybe like
super
some people
windy.
will say, oh, well, the quality of the game is going to be because Ford Field is climate control. It's like, I don't want it to be climate
That's not
controlled.
the
I want it
point.
to be like a
It's a college
whiteout.
game.
Like, I want
Yeah,
it to be like
yeah,
messy and grungy, and like,
yeah.
people are slipping on the field and it's
That's big.
crazy. Like,
That's
I mean,
Big
like,
Ten
I
football.
get it. It's
You
like,
know,
yeah, I get some people are just like, they just want to see the guy throw the ball a million yards
they're like,
every single play. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. I kind of like the grind. It's like,
yeah.
I don't. Maybe
No, I
I'm
mean,
just
I
an old
agree.
man. Like,
Well, that's probably part of it. But I mean, I agree with you though. Like Big Ten football is supposed to be like that because of the
It's
states that
defense.
are. Yeah.
Michigan State is like, it has that defense culture. Obviously, recently,
Uh,
but
we don't talk about
like
that.
it
Yeah.
has like. But
Yeah.
the Big Ten has always been
Defensive.
defensive, right? You
It's
have
defensive
some of the
football.
best defensive players, and just like best like trenches players, offensive linemen,
Yeah.
defensive linemen, trenches, all
Look at
that. You
Iowa.
have, yeah,
Like
Iowa is like
Iowa,
a
Wisconsin,
defense, yeah, like
Michigan.
all these plays, and it's just I don't. I, for one, it's actually kind of funny because they're the Nittany Lions, so they're gonna be playing where the Lions play.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, just first of all, they're gonna be totally outshined by the Detroit Lions, who will probably by that point be a good, if not very good team in the NFL, and
Hopefully.
will I'm going to just I'm just going to say it, probably destroy the Packers that game, right? I mean,
Let's hope.
if the Packers are as bad as we think they're going to be, and the
Yeah.
Lions are as good as we think they're going to be, then that game is going to probably be a blowout. Or at the very least, the Lions are just going to have control for most of the game, and maybe you get some garbage time touchdowns. Maybe it's a little bit closer, but the
And what a
Lions are
happy
like,
Thanksgiving that'll be in Michigan.
exactly. We want a happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and I mean, it already feels a little like they're just sort of hopping on the bandwagon a little bit.
Maybe.
Because like,
Yeah.
the NFL was like, we're gonna do a Black Friday game, and it's like, okay, well, all right, I guess that's kind of cool, but
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, well, we're gonna do a Black Friday game, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make it
Yeah.
Penn State and Michigan State, and
Yeah.
also we're gonna put it in a neutral site. And it's like, well, this is just lame. This is just
Yeah.
dumb. Like, this is like if you did like the Iron Bowl or
Yeah.
Michigan State or Michigan Ohio State or some big rivalry game, or like Army Navy or something, like
something like that.
something like whatever. Like it's not like I don't know what this weird like pseudo rivalry we're supposed to have with Penn State. I don't care about Penn State that much.
Yeah,
Like I don't.
it's like what do we play for? It's like the land grant trophy with them or
Yeah,
something,
because they're both land grant colleges.
which is like,
But like I
whoop-de
don't
frickin'
really.
do,
I just don't really care. Like they're
Yeah.
not a rival at all.
I know the
And
biggest game on our schedule is Michigan every year.
yeah, and that's at least in that case, that game at Ford Field would again make some sense.
That would be
But
cool.
I would still hate
But
that because
yeah.
it's like, no, I want it to be at Spartan Stadium or in the Big House.
Yeah,
Because that's where these games took place. It's like
college
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why?
Yeah.
Like college football is just like trying to like
Yeah,
be
they're
the
doing too
NFL on
much.
Saturday.
Yeah, they're doing too much in my
It's like
opinion.
no, it's like I liked that you had these conferences that were just sort of like pseudo leagues, like little
Yeah.
leagues inside of leagues, and then at the end of the year, some of them will play one another, and you'll see who's the true thing. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, now it's like we're just gonna be the I don't know what they're gonna call it. Let's just say the NCAA East and the NCAA West, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, or maybe the NCAA North and the NCAA South. Like you're gonna have the SEC and the ACC and
Combined together.
Big 12 all form, and then you have the Big 10 and Pac-12 and
However they
the
do it.
All-American Conference. I don't know, however they want to do it. Which is, I mean, it's just, I don't. That's not college football. That's
It's
just
not.
like
Yeah.
a minor league, essentially, which is kind of what college football is, because that's where, I mean, every draft prospect is a college football player,
And
which
then
is
they go on to
like
the
a
NFL.
part
Yeah.
of what I like about it is that you
Yeah.
have like, it's like when you have these little like Josh Allen went to Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was watching Wyoming games other than Wyoming fans. So it's like, who's this guy out of Wyoming?
Josh
I
Allen?
don't know. It's like Wyoming
Yeah.
might not have a football program if we keep going this way,
Yeah,
because
probably
they're not
not.
going to be able to afford to buy players.
No.
They're not. Nobody like it's like the rich are
You have
going to get
6
richer
people who
in the
live in
college
Wyoming.
football.
Yeah.
That's right. Well,
You know?
they got like 6 people in the whole state.
Yeah.
And Michigan State is a pretty big program, but like
Mhm.
in the grand scheme of things, if we keep going this route of like we're just going to keep seeing who can pay the biggest team, it's like, well, we do just make less money than Michigan.
Yeah.
And Ohio State.
It's a simple fact.
And
yeah.
like there's nothing we can do to change that. Like
Yeah.
other than be really good impossibly, because like
and bring in better players that sell more jerseys or something. I don't know.
I just it's just like college football to me is just like it's almost like it's like
It's its own thing.
they're trying to they're like committing suicide but on accident.
Yeah.
Like
I can
they're
see
like
that.
trying to expand it. They're saying, "Oh, well, we're gonna give all this power to the players. They can make all this money. We can sign
NIL
them."
deals. Yeah.
And it's like whatever. I don't
That's
really
fine.
care that much.
Yeah.
But we're just sort of unleashing the floodgates here, and you have players getting paid millions of dollars before they touch a football.
I know.
Like Archie Manning, what's
Yeah.
his NIL deal? Like more
Something
than
something
like to
insane.
the point where it's like, why are you even considering playing for the pros?
Yeah.
Like you could just be like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna opt out of
Like
the
that
draft.
is literally more money than some people will see in their lifetime.
It's like
If
Bryce
they
Young
could-
doesn't have to be good in the NFL.
No.
And
He's set.
granted, he could even before NIL, he could suck and he would still be fine.
But
like, there's like not like I feel like it's a similar thing with the NBA where you just have these individual guys who are just like trying to maximize their own profit.
yeah.
Individual players
Yep.
that are like, okay, I don't want to play for a bad team. I'm just going to leave and I'm going to get a really good deal with this other team. They're going to pay me whatever I want. And there's no salary cap. There's no floor. There's no ceiling. I can just, tell me when to stop putting zeros on this check, Mr.
Pretty much.
Smith or whoever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like where it's going. And
Yeah.
I don't see these smaller programs, these kind of fun
They're not going
little
to
scrappy.
exist.
Yeah, they're just going to be gone.
Yeah, they're gone for
Yeah.
sure. If that's the way it goes, definitely.
No more Alabama A&M.
No. No more Appalachian State.
You take that back.
No,
Do
no,
not.
they'll stay.
They will always be around to
They're
upset
always.
random teams for
That
no
is true.
reason.
They'll be there.
But yeah, so college football is a dumpster fire. All my teams
Yeah.
are a dumpster fire. Everything
Well,
is a dumpster fire.
Thanks, Detroit and
Yeah.
or Michigan.
Yeah.